Are you going to speak?
He's waiting for the...
Are you actually going to wait until we hit that drum?
Yeah, I am.
You know we're live right now, right?
Yeah, I know.
You understand that?
Yeah, I do.
Like, I'm seeing you. You're doing this.
Yeah, I know. I'm waiting.
Okay, man. I'm just making sure.
I mean, I appreciate it.
Sean, you don't.
I understand what he's doing.
You want
And
the
with
drum?
that, good morning, good afternoon, and good night,
I
whenever
understand.
and wherever you may be.
Nobody cares.
Viewer.
Nobody cares.
Thank you, Jason. I do appreciate what you were trying to do there.
Nobody appreciates what you were trying to do.
No, I do. He's trying to give my song. He's like, let's listen to Sean's tune.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
That's a good tune. He did a good job. He put a lot of work into it. We need to fully appreciate the awesomeness of that upbeat.
Again, I still had help, but yes.
Yes,
Thanks.
well, you had help, but you did it. You should be.
You need help.
I do need help.
You do need help.
I do need help.
Anyway,
Takes a lot
but
to
we're
get
here.
that.
Hi,
Yeah,
Internet. How you
are-
doing? We love you too.
Nobody loves us. Why would you say that?
Look, I'm looking at a camera. Now, granted, machines don't like me, but I can pretend that it likes me. I know no one's actually watching this particular show. Can I just not have my illusions shattered for 1 hour? 1 hour,
Wouldn't
Ray.
be our style.
That's technically it is. We don't.
We shatter illusions?
No, we don't shatter illusions.
Oh, well. Yeah, but I
We
shattered
try to
his
do
illusion.
spoiler free as much as possible.
Oh, that reminds me. Since we're recapping Batman 89,
spoilers!
Yeah. And by
So
the way,
if
as
you
far as
haven't
illusions,
seen
we
this
have a
in
giant green screen back here that we're running images on. I mean,
have you seen
the whole thing's an illusion. None of us are real.
It's illusions. All right.
We're all just pixels on the internet,
Stop
damn it.
pounding
Believe
on
it
the
or
desk.
believe it or not, Jason has had no caffeine this morning.
Just the
He's-
Ozarka water.
Oh, doggone it. All right, so good morning, Jason. Good morning, Sean. Good morning, Zach, who's running our boards today.
Because Kat had to file a restraining order after that last episode.
Oh, for you? Yeah.
For you? Well, you were pretty,
Right,
dude.
you? Oh my God.
You.
Hey, we happily enjoyed his burrito together.
And that's why Kat didn't want to be here.
Again, it wasn't just my burrito.
It was him and his wife's burrito.
burrito. Yeah.
It wasn't just me.
Hey.
It's a universal burrito.
We ate that taco.
Yes.
What?
What?
Okay.
Let's move on.
What are we talking about today?
Batman, I believe.
And Endgame.
But we're gonna open up with Endgame because it's only fair to put down a DC movie by talking about Marvel. So what are they trying to do this week? Trying to beat Avatar.
Okay, just let me ask the question.
Go ahead and ask
Please
the
do.
question.
So,
There are tens of people listening.
what is their hard on for James Cameron? Does his ex-wife work for Marvel now, or why?
No, I don't believe Linda Hamilton works for Marvel. That's his ex-wife.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Did you not know that?
No. Who was the one who directed? Am I thinking of the wrong thing?
I don't know.
The one who directed The Hurt Locker.
I don't know. I'm not.
Oh,
I didn't prep for the Hurt Locker.
No, but The Hurt Locker and him, they were both going head to head at one point for Best Movie of the Year, Best Picture of the Year.
Kathleen something.
Yeah.
I think that's the second.
Doesn't
maybe
matter.
the third.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
No, Kathleen was the second. Linda Hamilton was the first.
Okay, there you go.
we go.
There you go.
Okay.
But still, it doesn't matter, right? My question still stands.
No, she does not work for Marvel.
So then, why do they have to beat Marvel?
You're so close.
Marvel's
You're
total. I mean,
literally. I think it's
Cameron's total.
40 million.
Yeah.
And no, you're so close at 40 million.
No,
Jeez,
but wait,
I would love to get a percentage.
didn't
off
they
that.
already say that they did beat the? It beat the original run.
It beat
Right.
domestic.
It beat the original release because
yes.
Avatar got released the second time,
Yes.
just like we're getting Endgame, right?
Exactly.
Now
That's where
nothing's
they're-
going to beat the domestic release of Star Wars Episode 7. That
Okay.
stands on its own
Okay.
domestically. Globally, it's still Avatar by about 43 million,
okay.
somewhere around there.
So they're hoping to bag another 43, 44 million in a. How long is this next
in 3
run
days.
gonna be?
Yeah.
It's-
In 3
In
days.
3 days?
Because starting Monday night and going into Tuesday, it's Spider-Man. So they don't want to
They don't want to,
really
yeah.
interfere too much with it, right?
Here's my question, though. Is it, if they count the ad revenue they made off of people going and watching the
It's
trailers?
not counted. It's a box office receipts
Okay,
only.
so it's only box. Okay.
box office receipts
Because
only.
I think if we throw that in there, they've already got that beat.
Look, it's already
Yeah.
made billions. I mean, it's not.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, 202.7 4 like that at the box office billion. So it doesn't really matter. What they really should have called this is instead of saying, hey, we're going to add footage, which they didn't, it's post-credits only.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about what those are here because it's not worth wasting a ticket for.
Now hold on.
If you've seen the movie, it's not worth wasting a ticket for.
I just want to say that maybe it's not worth it just to go see those 6 minutes of film.
Yeah, fair enough.
However, the movie itself, if you
Yeah.
want to go watch it in the theater again,
Which
why not?
I got to be honest with you, I would have been better with them had they just come out and said, hey, this weekend we're going to re-release more screens because we're gunning for Avatar. Like that would have,
Yeah.
Yes.
I would have been like, you know what, I'm going to see
yes,
it for that.
Yes, I understand that. It
But-
wouldn't have been such a under the guise of, hey, here's 6 minutes of extra
Right.
footage versus being upfront about the fact that, look, we're really, really trying to best Avatar.
So here we go. Spoilers for the 6 minutes.
Right, yeah, because I
Is
haven't...
it 6 or 8? I heard 8.
6 or 8, it's irrelevant. It's
Okay.
crap.
But I hadn't heard it, so I was curious to know, and I'm really not... Look, I've seen the movie. We've seen the movie.
Yeah.
Most of us don't really care about what the end credit spoiler scenes are, and I haven't heard it though, so I'm interested to know.
It's about a 2-minute drop for a tribute to Stan Lee, which I will say that's admirable, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But they got a couple of quick snippets of him talking, a couple of quick snippets of the directors and Marvel talking about his importance. But again, about 2 minutes,
Okay.
maybe 3.
Okay.
You have
So we're down to 4 minutes.
you have
now.
a deleted scene featuring the Hulk,
Okay.
which is the lead-up scene to the diner scene
Okay.
that we get in the actual movie.
Gotcha.
60% finished.
Oh, it's not even done.
Not even completed. It's the CGI has not been completed, but basically it's him rescuing a bunch of people from a burning apartment building, and it's your quote-unquote first look at Smart Hulk,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And it ends with a phone call from Steve, which leads into the diner.
The scene. Yeah.
Okay.
I gotcha.
So that's about another minute and a half to 2 minutes.
Yeah, I can see why they never finished that scene.
The last
the
part-
diners.
It was
Yeah, that was
diner,
perfect.
It was that was a good reveal. Yeah.
And the last part is about a 2-minute clip from the first 5 minutes of Spider-Man or so. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is their big push for the re-release.
So that's their 6 minutes of new footage that they've
Yes.
added to the film, which is, I mean,
It's a hard sell. Again, I'd rather
Yeah.
they would have come out and just said, hey, we're trying to beat the hell out of Avatar.
Yeah.
That's our goal.
that. Yes.
And I get it. You're okay. You've put this much time and effort into it, and you're just so close to doing it. I can see why they'd want to gun for it, and it's like at that point, it is your trophy, right? It's to be able to say,
Yeah.
we did this.
It's an empty skull
And
in
what's-
it's an empty skull in the shed somewhere.
It's a
trophy wife?
It's a trophy
Oh,
wife.
okay.
What's wrong with what is wrong with coming out and saying it though? What's like why do they feel they can't say that? We all know what it is, and to your point,
Cameron knows what it is.
it almost feels for you a little. I mean, the best word I can think of is scummy. Or,
It does.
It is
underhanded,
underhanded. It is
because
underhanded.
you're going, hey, look, we're re-releasing with this footage, but really the intent behind all this is nothing more than a cash grab.
Now, if they had...
And I mean, and we
Right.
cash grab is a bad like I get
But
it,
it is.
but it is. But in the same way, it's a cash grab because they want the title.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but had they said this for the cash grab, we've got
That's what we're just gonna call it.
yeah
now,
cash
guys.
grab. Had they said we have 8 to 10 minutes of brand new footage inserted into the movie as a quote unquote director's cut,
That
Yeah.
would have been different.
I would have been like,
That would have been
okay, now
different.
I may not have still gone, but I would be more interested in going. You know what? I don't have anything to do this
You know,
weekend. I think I am going to go catch that.
And I also still think you brought it up. You know, Spider-Man is coming fast on the heels of that. So it seems kind of, I don't know. It seems like it's poor timing. Like why not? Either they should have done it 2 weeks ago,
Right.
to keep it
I
going,
agree.
or
Yeah.
they should have waited till after Spider-Man and then thrown it back out there as a hey guys, one last hurrah before the next phase begins.
And to be fair,
Because then they could have done that.
Yeah.
They could have come back and released a quote-unquote director's cut, or with extra scenes and footage, maybe finish that.
To which the
60%.
Russo brothers have already said, we're not doing a director's cut.
Yeah.
Our version is our version.
Right.
Which is why it was only going to be added at the end.
Can we all take a moment to appreciate that?
I do. Yes.
I mean, I love a good director's cut as much as anyone else.
No,
but most of them are crap.
Not-
I mean, there's a reason. There is a reason what hit the screen. The one of the few examples is like Highlander, the original Highlander, where what hit our screen is not what hit Europe, right? So the director's cut is actually the European version, and that adds a lot of content.
Yes,
It does.
It does.
So, but I mean, most director's cuts they aren't nearly as good. Like Ghostbusters, the new one, right? That
actually hurt it.
It made it worse.
It really did.
The original Blade Runner.
Yeah. I thought the original Blade Runner was the better version.
I thought the original one with the voiceover on everything was much better because it lent to that film noir style.
Which, and that
was the whole.
Oh yeah.
And to that point, I'm glad they released that.
Like the 10 disc. It's
Yeah.
got
Because
so many cuts.
Because the only
Yeah.
one I'm watching is that first one.
Yeah, but
You
you
know.
have the other ones when you want to watch them. Because, I mean, internationally, it released without that voiceover. Much, so, because I guess it didn't test well over there with the voiceover. People were like, why do I have to hear him narrate what he's doing,
Yeah.
So, but I don't know.
No.
I liked it.
Anyway.
It had that old school detective
Exactly.
novel
That's what it was.
feel, and
yeah,
that's what it was.
Yeah, it was a film
supposed to
noir,
be.
sci-fi, cyberpunk noir thing.
however
Anyway,
you
but
wanna-
the point being, I appreciate the Russo brothers saying, "Hey, that's our product. We're gonna
Yeah.
stand by it."
I know, I like it too. That's
All
good.
right. Last bit of news, and then we're going to jump into Batman '89 because it has been 30 years. And I think everyone.
the
at this-
anniversary.
I think everyone at this table.
Sunday last weekend.
last week. was
Last
the
weekend
anniversary.
on Sunday, that was the 30th.
Yeah.
But I think everyone at this table actually remembers going to the theater to see it, or did you? I know we did.
We'll get to
Oh, yeah.
that.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
Let's go
let's
ahead.
get to it.
Yeah.
All
What's
right,
the last bit of news?
last bit of news is the new rumor going around is Batgirl has maybe been casted for the upcoming yes, in Iron.
That's still not the right.
Either
Yeah.
way, casting news for Batgirl is pointing to Daisy Ridley?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I saw that. That's right. That's right. Cool.
Yeah.
and other casting. Paul Rudd has joined Ghostbusters 3
Ghostbusters 2020.
2020. You're right.
Tentative. I mean, is that the actual title? Did he say?
That's the
did
working
Reitman
title.
It's a working title.
Working
right?
title.
Okay.
So anyway, that's interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
I love Paul Rudd. It's
Yeah.
just.
Can you do no wrong?
I
You
don't-
think he'll go up Gozer's? Never mind.
I don't think Paul Rudd is just he's the guy you want to go out and have a few drinks with at a bar.
Yeah.
and
No,
chill.
absolutely.
Like,
He's a very affable character, at least on
Yes.
screen. I don't know how he is in real life, but
you
but
just-
on screen he feels very affable.
he seems that way, and the other people he seems to work with seem to be equally as fun. So what was that? I Love You, Man. Did you see that movie?
That actually with
I love that.
Jason
Segel.
Segel.
Yes, I love. God, the two of them on screen, they were good together, man. It's a good movie, dude. You should see it.
Is that the one with where he has cancer, or
No,
am I thinking of a different one?
no.
No.
You're,
Oh, I
you're,
think-
50-50.
you're thinking 50-50 with
Yeah,
Paul Rudd.
okay.
Yeah.
Not Paul Rudd. Seth Rogen and
The guy.
Adam Sandler,
No,
No.
it's the guy from.
because that's the other one that had.
A Third Rock from the Sun. He was Robin in the last Batman trilogy.
Joseph
Joseph
Gordon-Levitt.
Gordon-Levitt.
Thank you.
Okay,
So
I never saw that one.
yeah, that's actually it was funny and sad.
Well, it should have been.
Yeah, but it's not something you watch like a couple of months after someone you know has passed from it. I found that out the hard way.
That's
Yeah.
also true.
All right, Batman '89, 30 years.
Yeah,
That is insane.
30 years.
Well, it just means we're getting old.
It means you're getting old. So you were what, Jason? 40 when that came out?
Yes, actually 41.
41. Sorry.
Looking good, dude.
Thank you. Looking
Yeah, it's not bad for 80, man.
Yeah, it is.
Um,
Clean living.
That's good.
that's funny. Let's start with this. Fondest memories of it.
I just realized this thing's green.
It is green.
So what
I
are
wonder
people
how that.
seeing?
Hold that up. Let's get a shot. Let's see if it blends.
I don't know that it's green enough to blend. I mean, who knows?
It might be.
Invisible.
Yeah,
It's
sweet.
invisible?
It's invisible.
Sweet.
I love it.
So you're just holding up your hand.
I'm just
to
holding
drink.
up my hand doing drink movements.
That's
no
awesome.
one knows.
Oh yeah, look at that,
Yeah.
man. Just Batman. Actually, it looks. Yeah, the cap.
I mean,
you can see the cap.
You got the cap and you
Yeah.
got the whole. That's good. I like that. Okay.
Uh,
Sorry to derail this entire thing.
Wait, did we have any opinions on Daisy Ridley being Batgirl before we?
No,
hop
I think
in?
that was pretty much where.
Yeah,
we
pretty
were.
much general-
I do have an opinion on that really fast. I'm almost a little. I really wish they would go with some more unknowns.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I do understand that there are good actors in Hollywood, and they are coming. Like Daisy Ridley is basically an up and coming one. I mean, she's across the pond, right? So I don't necessarily say Hollywood, but it would be nice to continue to bring in more outside unknowns to kind of fill out the pool of actors
Yeah.
to pick from.
I think that would be a good
I
topic.
don't
for
want
another
it to
show.
get. I don't want it to get stale and where Brad Pitt's and everything.
I got you. No, I think there's definitely a point to that. I think
Yeah.
you're right.
So,
But I like her, and so I
Yeah.
hope she does a good job. I would love to see it.
Amtrak back.
Yeah,
All
gotcha.
right.
Someone's pulled that
Yeah.
lever,
Yeah.
and we're back onto
Yeah.
this track now. Okay.
All right. Now that we've jumped the rails
89
again.
Batman.
89 Batman. Okay, my favorite memory. Opening day, went to the Cinemark in Lancaster.
Lancaster, Texas.
When it was
Cinemark 14?
no, it's 14 now. It was 7.
7. That's right.
It was 7 at the time with my grandfather.
So it's doubled in size?
Yeah.
Yes, actually, that's why.
Yeah, you can see the original building, and then there's the
They've added
and
the
there's
new
extension.
portion of it.
Yeah.
And
That theater holds a lot of memories for me, including when we lost, in another Batman film, might I add, we might have lost the fire extinguisher through the screen of the movie. Anyway, go ahead.
I've heard that story. Anyway, so all right, we're there.
I'm
the
glad
line
I've
wrapped
never been to
around the
that
building.
theater.
So the line wrapped around the theater, right? Because I mean, it was,
And that was, you went Friday, right?
yeah,
Okay.
it was big, but we went during the day. Like that was the thing, is it was huge. I'd never seen a line that long for a movie before. We used to go all the time.
I like Hayes. We would during the day. Like, you guys never come out at night. You know, we only come out at night. Otherwise, you know. Well, I
Well,
do.
yeah.
You are fleshy and pale. So
Thank you. Well, no,
I guess I understand that. What? I can say that. I'm 20% white.
yeah, he's a
I
day.
thought you were going to say you were 20% pasty and pale.
Sure.
I'd go with 60.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, I'm
carnal.
probably 60.
Yeah, but don't, usually
I'm not good at math. That's what. I'm not good at that. I don't do well with math.
What do you do for a living? Accounting.
accounting.
Yeah. I'm a CPA.
CPA. Taxes.
Here's my card.
NASA.
Hey, to be fair, they got to the moon with tubes, so. Yeah. Okay. Fine.
Rover was
Fine.
All right, so opening day,
opening day.
They also
1989.
You know what? Screw it. I don't care anymore.
No,
No,
I went,
no,
it
no,
was
go,
good.
go.
Okay, I went with my. Okay, I'll sum it. I went with my grandfather. It was during the day, but again, I hadn't. I'm 9 at the time. I hadn't seen a line that long during the day. Right? It was always at night when we went. And I think my grandfather actually fell asleep about midway through.
Oh, so it's hereditary.
Exactly. Yeah, it is.
No. During the movie, not while driving.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
I think that's it. It was just it was going to go see. But I mean, it was again at the time, Superman. Like the Superman movies had already started coming and gone.
When was the last Superman?
It was like 80.
It was in the 80s, right?
88.
It was 80, 85, 80, or 87.
It was mid 80s. So I did, yeah.
All these computers,
and it
one of
was
us should probably look.
and it was you're the one with the biggest
Yeah.
screen.
Yeah, no.
But
But
and
the
it
point
wasn't,
is,
it didn't do very well either.
It
Did
didn't
that
do
last
very
one was
well.
kind
Yeah,
of
it wasn't yeah, and again, but it's like you'd saw Superman like on VHS at the time, right? Like that's, and then so here it is, boom, it's Batman, right? And it's big, and it's this is a very different Batman. You're like, all right, cool, let's go see it. And this is before this new wave of movies that came out after that. So it was just being there, right? It was very different and surreal to see this very different feel. And we can talk a little bit more about it, but about what Tim Burton brought to it. But I mean, it was just.
Did you read that? Did you read that article too?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
No, it was just being in that theater. You're 9 years old. It's a real life Batman. Like up to this point, Batman was either the Super Friends, one of the other cartoons, that
Adam
come out-
West.
Or Adam West.
or Adam West,
Pretty
right?
much, yeah.
Which really, if you think about it, we did not appreciate the Adam West Batman until a
Adults.
decade even after that, because
Yeah.
we just thought, oh my God, it's the worst thing ever. And it wasn't until
Yeah.
hindsight where we're like, you know what?
This is
that was
genius.
our childhood.
Well, it wasn't even until it was in college. I took a course. I had to finish off my art degree. I took a course on like theater production.
Okay, so
And-
anyway,
well, I'm just saying,
it's your grandfather.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm just saying it was just it had such a unique feel visually to it that it just really stood out. I mean, and again, it's me. I'm 9. It's my grandfather. This is just it was the event. That's my favorite memory of it.
So,
So I had to kind of think back on this one for a little while. I'm still not even sure if I saw it, if I was allowed to see it in the theater at the time. It was PG-13, so
You were a fetus at the time.
yes, correct. But my mom did take me to a lot of movies that probably I shouldn't have seen at the time, and that's not a parenting thing. That's legitimate. Usually, she would go see the movie first,
Yeah.
and then afterwards judge whether or not I was mature enough to handle the film.
I've had to do that.
But I do remember,
Chrissy does that for Jason.
yeah, so, exactly, with among other things. But
Plumbing the depths.
so I'll say this, I don't remember seeing it in theater or not. I really just don't. It's still, I would have been, man, I was like 6 at the time. So it's right about that time where memories are swirly because you're not forming them at that point. If we did see it, it would have been over at the, what would have been the Arlington Theater off of Matlock or Mayfield.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it used to be called.
I can't either.
I don't think it's a movie theater anymore. Actually, it turned into a pet store for a while. I don't know what it is now. It might be a fitness center. I don't know, but we would have been
After the pet center, it turned into this restaurant.
Yeah.
We don't know
right.
we don't know where they got their food. It was limited supply.
Inventory sale.
It was a fish store. Now it's a sushi joint.
Yeah, I don't know.
But no, for me, the biggest memories that I have of that movie was once I finally at least saw it, whether it was in the theater or at home, I don't remember which, but having something so big and bold of a character as Batman, a Tim Burton movie, just came off of Beetlejuice, and you're watching this superhero movie that has a distinct dark tone. And the only thing you'd seen up to that point was cartoons, for me anyways. And again, obviously Adam West's Batman.
Yeah.
But it had been cartoonish and campy and funny and comic bookish and a little bit kind of lighthearted. And now you've got this really complex take on a character that was so one-dimensional for me up until that point.
Yeah.
And at the time, realistic. Now,
yes.
Obviously it's in quotes,
no,
but
yes,
it
but
was
that was like that first. That's exactly that's a perfect point that I think I'm it wasn't really real until then.
Yeah.
And it's almost kind of a testament to the fact that I think that Batman ushered in those newer era of movies afterwards that they didn't always do it justice. Spawn, but other movies of that ilk where it was like
Steel.
You're gonna start Steel,
Yeah.
where
Batman with nipples.
they were trying right, Meteor Man. Where they were trying.
Don't diss Meteor Man.
I love Meteor Man.
Don't
I
get
love
Jason
Meteor Man.
started.
Blank Man, that was a great one.
That actually was good.
That was a really good one. But no, they started now. Warner Brothers is now looking into their catalog of what can we actually take and make movies out of now. They started going back in and trying to pull this stuff out and make this. But so my memory of it was seeing such that bold character and realizing this is a grown-up movie, but it still works for kids.
Yeah.
Because at the time I was just enthralled by it. But dude, there's like tons of violence and like serious violence. I mean,
And Batman killing a lot.
Oh, first thing I used
He
to
blows
have.
up an entire building full of people.
So
Don't care about your Batman.
What did I have? I had the die-cast Hot Wheels Batman. Still one of the worst Batmans to step on barefoot. Batmobiles to step on barefoot. I had and then I had the Micro Machines too, and those were fun. But I had the little Micro Machine. My prized one was the Batwing. And that was my favorite memory of that was because I was a kid and I was like, guns, Texas. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
So when he's flying in on the parade and the sides drop out and those, Gatling guns fall out, I was like, oh, this is awesome. And he's just plowing down the street, just blowing up the asphalt. And, Jack Nicholson is standing there with his arms raised doing his dance to Prince.
Yeah.
And it was fantastic. Like, that's such a great...
Who do you trust? Hubba, hubba, hubba.
I
Who
love
do you trust?
I mean, and another, I mean, that villain, having Jack Nicholson, he steals the show again.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, did we not see a trend after this where all these, this villain has to be this charismatic, almost show-stealing, not overacted, but you know what I'm saying? Like, they have a physical presence when they're in the movie.
They centered around it.
Yes.
Which is one thing I will say. I think that, we'll get to that as well.
But so that was for me. I remember having all the toys, playing with them growing up, and getting to see for the first time a comic book character that to me was only a comic book character come to life and be so dark but still, accurate. I guess to the comics. It was a great representation of it. So, what about
Raymond?
For me, we went to the same theater as Jason did, and it was my uncle who took me and my cousin. I want to say it was 2 uncles, three cousins, and I remember we got there. It was Saturday. We went Saturday morning to the first showing of the day, and by the time and I remember this very vividly, we were the third group of people in line. So we got our tickets, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
By the time they let us in, it had wrapped around the building twice, that line. And I just couldn't believe it. And I was just happy because it was the first time, Batman still, even to this day, still my favorite character. But even at that age, it was my favorite character. He was my favorite character. Like, I wanted to go see Batman. The thing that stuck with me the most, though, was the marketing. I remember when my parents, we would drive into downtown.
I had a lunchbox with a thermos in it.
But I just remember for a while, it was just the bat symbol.
Yeah.
That was it.
That was it.
That was it.
Yeah.
It wasn't a date.
Yep.
It wasn't the movie. It was just a bat symbol. And I just kept thinking, is Batman coming to town? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, my grandmother thought it was an advertisement for an orthodontist.
I don't even
What?
want to know why that is. But that was the thing. It was
They
like,
didn't know what it was. They thought they
Yeah.
couldn't figure out that it was the bat symbol. They didn't know what it was.
and it was crazy. But we kept seeing it, and then all of a sudden, like that went on for about 2 or 3 months, and then it was the bat symbol with June 23rd on the bottom.
Yeah.
A poster that I have hunted down and is at the house because I love that image and I love that poster, that one sheet, where it's just the bat symbol, June 23rd. So when they finally started doing TV ads or trailers, which were absolutely horrendous, and I don't like them.
We watched the preview the other day just to see it.
It
It stunk. It
Yeah.
was so bad.
Yeah,
it
it's just-
made it look campy.
It did.
It made it look
It
more
did.
campy than it actually was. Like you went and saw it, and you're like, "Wait a minute, this is a completely different movie."
And it was, and I remember being in the theater thinking, I mean, there were moments, especially the scene where they're operating on Jack
Napier.
Nicholson and
Yeah.
Napier, and
Yeah.
it's just like,
Yeah,
that could be
made me-
frightening to
that
a
made,
certain, you know.
I was frightened. That made me cringe as a kid. I was like, "Oh gosh, what's happening?"
Yeah,
I was
and-
totally,
Yeah.
totally frightened.
yeah, and you're seeing a table full of dirty
Instruments,
bloody
with
instruments.
dirty,
bloody.
yeah.
You know, I mean, so it was like, this is not what it was at all. But
And then he knocks that light out and
Oh, yeah.
cackles into the darkness
Yeah.
up the stairs while the dude's left there stunned. That was
Oh,
It's
that
just-
was, yeah.
It's just
Oh, yeah.
that creepiness factor, and it stuck. But it was just, for the longest time, I was like, oh my god, that's the best movie I've ever seen, right? And that lasted 5 years till Jurassic Park came out. But
Wait, not even Ninja Turtles?
no, but
we'll talk-
a topic for another day.
Yeah.
But
Because
it
they
was
came out about the same time.
yeah.
it was
it
within
had
I
its
think
place,
like 9
but
months.
It had its
Yeah.
place, but dude, Jurassic Park totally whooped.
Well, I'm not.
Either way, I know what you're going
Yeah,
with.
he said it was the best movie until Jurassic
I got
Park.
it.
Quit
I'm just saying,
Amtrak.
yeah.
I got you. It's what we do.
I know.
It's how they know us.
Have you ever watched the show? I mean, I know we don't watch it later. I'm just saying.
But no,
I
so
haven't.
that was it. It was just being there, and I think you put it. It's the only other time, I hate to say this, the only other time I felt an event movie was for Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that has been the closest. Yes, we've had Star Wars movies come out where it was
I don't know, dude. To me,
big and everything else, especially when the prequels started. It was kind of an event, but nothing felt like
not even Matrix.
Batman. Nothing felt like Batman. Nothing hit back to the crowd enthusiasm of start this flick already because I can't wait to see it. You know, and
okay.
I haven't seen that
Yeah.
until this past April with Endgame.
And that just speaks to how effective the marketing was, because that
Oh,
marketing was
absolutely.
going on for 3-4 months of just the bat signal, and then suddenly you're getting an image of the Batmobile, and they eke it out.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
It was great.
And it was, and again, this is before the internet and before all that was going on, so you didn't have all these constant leaks.
Yeah, not
like
at all.
behind
No.
the scene things. Like I remember, like again,
I mean,
the original Blade, like you at least saw it in a magazine. I think it was Entertainment Weekly or whatever. It was like, hey, they're making Blade, and
Well,
here's an image,
Fangoria.
and you're like, oh, it was Fangoria. That's what it was. But I mean, it's like really, you didn't get a lot. You know, you're a 9-year-old kid living in DeSoto, Texas. You're not going to get a lot of leaks.
No,
ahead of time.
there was
back in those
probably
days.
plenty of leaks in Hollywood
Yeah.
during the time.
Well, there
but
were.
even then, it's not going to go outside because that to them that was trivial information. At the
Yeah.
time.
So let's talk about that though, because there were plenty of leaks. Batman, believe it or not, it's not a Batman movie unless there's controversy about who's starring in it.
No,
and who's going to
yes.
play Batman.
Yes, which
And Keaton was the first one where Warner Brothers, without the internet, right? Warner Brothers was inundated with thousands of fan letters saying we are not going to have Mr. Mom as our Batman.
And so that's another good thing. This is something that I find fascinating, though, is this is one of the big times that we'd seen, or first times we'd seen, somebody who is, to that point, right? He's a comedic actor.
Yeah.
Yep.
Playing a serious comic book superhero, role.
Yeah.
Like you get Paul Rudd playing, Scott Lang as Ant-Man.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming, but when they cast it, I was like, okay, this could be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And it was good. I don't want anybody else but him to play
Yeah.
Scott Lang. He just nails it, But it's when they cast, him as Batman, he had just finished up Beetlejuice again with Tim Burton.
Yeah.
And so I really think the push for him to be on there was through Burton, because he's like, look, if I'm going to direct, I got along really well with this guy. I think he can pull it off. He's got a dark side to him, and he's not just the Mr. Mom. He's not just the what was that movie where he works in the car factory?
Gun Ho.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gun Ho.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly the movie I was about to bring up.
It's not just those
It's my
movies.
father-in-law's favorite movie.
Yeah.
But it absolutely is just. He was the first actor to say, yes, I know I'm coming from a comedy background, but I'm going to shock the hell out of you guys. Like you're not gonna expect this, but I promise I'm
Well,
gonna
you
deliver
say
on
okay.
it,
You say he
know?
says this. What was there, an interview with him somewhere, or what are you talking
There are
about?
plenty of interviews with him everywhere, but
Leading up to the Batman
and
release?
Everyone was saying the same thing. Whether it was Burton, whether it was the who was the producers on all these? It's Ursulin,
I can't remember the
Ulson,
name.
something like that.
I don't
Anyway, he's been literally the producer on every Batman movie. Period. But with him. It was Tim Burton, Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson. They're all saying the same thing. They're like, just wait. This is not going to be what you think it is.
Right.
And we're not. Because even for a while, they're like, great. Because we got Adam West, now we're going to get Michael Keaton. Because they're
Right,
going to
and
cam it up.
everyone's expecting a campy Batman,
Yeah.
and that's not. Thank God, that's not Tim Burton's style.
Yeah.
I mean, well, let me rephrase that. It didn't used to be Tim
Well,
Burton's
yeah.
style. Tim Burton is playing into his own.
He's
thing
pulling. Yeah,
now.
the thing is, I think he's doing what also a Batman tie-in Frank Miller has done. Where he's bought into his own style.
Well, and also
The irony there being is that
a
this is a
Tarantino
Frank
thing,
Miller
too.
Batman.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's something that Tarantino does too. It's
Yeah.
you get a little too stylized on your own style, and you just continue to do so.
And you can, without even knowing the director, bless you,
You need a mop or anything?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
and without even knowing who's directing, you know the style. Oh, it's got to be this person.
It's got to be this person
Yeah.
directing, yeah. But to the point where Tim Burton's at this moment, when he redid Alice in Wonderland and he redid some of the other stuff, it is over the top. It's too.
Yeah.
It was a little too much. This is Tim Burton's reserved era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where he's. But I
He's
think that's a good
nuanced.
point. Yeah.
And might I add, only in this movie, because when
Right.
you get Batman Returns,
He did go a little
he
further.
starts going
He
a little
starts
bit
ramping
further.
it up.
Yeah.
He really does.
And I think
That's
part of
true.
it is he had a larger budget, and I think that's the other thing, right? Like with the original Star Wars, he didn't have the technology or the budget to do everything that he wanted, so he had to be creative.
Yep.
Tim Burton didn't have the full budget, so he had to be creative. When you have limitations, that's when people start getting creative. That's when
That's
you get
right.
the best work.
Kim goes falling down the stylistic rabbit hole.
Oh God, yeah,
Exactly.
It's a
exactly
long
what it
rabbit
was.
hole too.
Well,
yeah.
and
God,
that's,
when you hit bottom, that's got to hurt.
it really does.
I don't think there is a bottom.
Oh, there's a bottom.
Yeah.
Okay. David Lynch will tell you where it is.
Yeah. Plumbing the depths.
Plumbing the depths.
I was about to
Plumbing the
say,
depths.
if you've seen anything Frank Miller's done in the last 10 years.
Okay.
Anyway,
Stop.
I'll stop beating up on the man. Anyway, the thing is, I mean, that's a good point, is the visuals of it. And that's really what I'm talking about is Batman, the original Batman, or the 1989 Batman, is so uniquely visual in how everything is done. It's, it's like when we have the real world, everything's sort of, the real world now, movies, everything looks like the real world. Whereas with this one, they said, okay, they're human beings acting, but this isn't the real world, and they went out of their way to create a Gotham.
Dude,
That was visually unique.
Yeah, the
and
visuals
very,
were
very
great. It had a
unique,
Blade
yeah.
Runner-esque feel to it for
Yeah.
how big and vast the city was and how dark it was, and just those shots when you first see the family walking around trying to find their way around
Yeah.
before they get robbed in the alley, right? And you see that first shot of Gotham as it is, and you're just like, Jesus, that's huge. And it was visually at the time, a really impressive job.
So going back and rewatching this, because it had been a while since, it's been a few years since I'd watched it. And I know me and Sean, we rewatched it this week. And I know that me and Jason have gotten into arguments before where...
Whoa.
I know. We get into arguments? I know.
Okay.
It's-
You seem so close. I never
Yeah, I
would have
know.
thought.
It's an abusive relationship.
So, but we always argue where he's like, this is the best Batman ever, and my argument is always, let me show you The Dark Knight, and Heath Ledger and Christian Bale, but rewatching this, I'm gonna have to agree with him that this first generation, like we've been talking about, the style that he created in it, it is very comic book-ish, and not in a bad way, and while I understand your thing, why you will always love this Batman, Keaton's always going to be Jason's Batman.
Right.
Whereas with me, I can, if the actor's good, I'm going to go with it. The only actor that's ever done bad, Clooney. And that's not his fault.
That was the director's.
Yeah. And the studio, and the script, and everyone who was involved. And McDonald's.
And McDonald's, Jesus.
Not a lot of people know that, but McDonald's had a huge part to play in it. Because they couldn't sell Happy Meals, starting with Batman Returns.
So, Keaton, I still think without Keaton and without this Batman, you don't get most of what we enjoy nowadays.
Yeah. Oh no, you
just don't. This was a milestone.
Yeah.
This was a changing
Oh, it does.
moment
Absolutely.
for not just comic book movies, but movies in general. I mean, it really did change a lot of the ideas about casting to the point, casting a comedic background role in a serious drama, which it's funny. This is a drama. This is a serious drama action movie. I mean, it's fraught with tension and, horrible backstories for people. You lost your parents kind of thing. It's awful.
Oh, yeah. And it's well acted. I think Stallone even said that Michael Keaton's Batman changed action movies because back then it was you had to be swollen and everyone's shirt had to come off.
That's right. Yeah.
And that was the action star. But once Michael Keaton comes in and says, yeah, I mean, he's a fit guy. But he's the acting.
He wasn't physically imposing,
right? He was
like so many of the Dolph Lundgren and
which I love. They talk about it, and what they said is because of the limitations of the suit. Because let's be honest, the suit was very limiting. He couldn't move.
He couldn't turn his head or anything. Yeah, they had to have different cowls for a couple of different scenes just so he could do what was needed there.
Yeah.
So what they did, because the first thing is we got to get someone physically fit. Believe it or not, Steven Seagal was actually thought of to play Batman because they're like, let's make it about Batman, and it's Burton who's like, no, make it about Bruce. It's still Batman, and I'll explain how this is going to be done and how it's going to look. But you got to have a good Bruce Wayne in order to get the good Batman that you need.
Could you imagine Steven Seagal?
No, I could not. But
it would have been called Batman: A Time to Kill or something like that.
Yeah. Well, I think it's something. The problem is, I think they wouldn't have done the costume the same way. They would have done where he could actually do his
but if you
martial
look,
arts.
but if you look at this, the way this,
Tubing.
but if you look at how the costume was, they also turned around and said, no, we're going to make this. This is the first introduction of scary Batman, if you think about it.
Yes,
because
he is.
It's like,
oh yeah,
he's not going to be necessarily physically imposing. He's not necessarily going to be able to be moving, but when he moves at you, he becomes more like a serial killer. He's more like Jason Voorhees. He's slow, he's methodical, and he's getting closer. You're going to shoot him, and he's going to pop back up.
And that's that was one of the best best
That's a
scenes.
great
is
idea.
Yes.
He gets his wings up.
Yeah,
and
the
everyone's
wings,
like, oh my god, and then he flaps them down
Because
and he comes
it's like,
just walking at you.
He just took 2 to the chest. Why are you not dead? And they figured out how to use the costume in that version that best suited him. So Keaton didn't have to be imposing. He didn't really need to be imposing.
No,
he just had to be frightening.
Exactly, which I think, again, like you said, that was a stylistic change for a lot of things, right? And like you said, this is scary Batman. And again, like you said, the first time we actually see him it's right after the he turned you have the mugging, he's going after him, and of course they're talking about there's already this mythos about Batman that and there he's like, man, I don't like it up
the
here.
Bat got him.
Yeah, the bad guy. Yeah, and they're sitting there talking, and he's like, "Do you want your cut or not?" Right? It's like.
And during all this, we have
You
Keaton
see,
slowly dropping
moving
out, and
in.
you're like, how is he doing that? Like,
Because
Yeah.
up until then, there had only been 8 sightings.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
love that. And they
Yeah.
even talk about the fact is like, who is this guy? What's going on? Like, we keep hearing these rumors. and
From Knox, the reporter.
from
doing
Knox,
the
right?
whole-
Who's
yeah.
telling, and Robert Wool, right? Wool or what? Robert?
Yes.
Yeah.
right. Whose daughter is Deborah, isn't it? Deborah Wool, whatever, from Daredevil. I think that's his daughter.
Deborah Wool, really?
I think.
Okay,
Don't
well,
hold me
let's-
to that.
Okay, well,
Fair enough.
Yeah, you have the computer. You can look it up.
Yeah, later.
But
so,
yeah, but it's like you said. He's slow.
Yeah.
He's quiet. He doesn't stop. It's like he puts one guy through a building, wraps the other guy up, and then it was such a shock as a 9-year-old. He walks this guy over to a ledge, and you can see like they show you. Here's the ledge. Here's Batman's feet.
Here's his toes, right?
And he's like,
Thump.
puts him over, and the guy is freaking out. And he's like,
Don't kill me, man.
"Yeah, don't kill me."
Yeah.
He's, I'm not going to kill you. I want you to tell all your friends about me. Who are you?
Yeah.
I'm Batman.
Which-
and then he turns around, throws him, and then just
Jumps.
and he disappears. You know, to a 9-year-old kid, you're like, what just happened?
Yeah.
Like, you know, even in the comics, you see him swing away.
I love
or
his hands are
something.
still up in the air, and then he jumps,
And then he jumps.
and he goes, "Praise Jesus!" like, what are you doing, man?
Bat hands.
Bat hands.
Bat hands.
You heard it here
Prince
first.
song we didn't get to hear.
Bat
Yeah.
hands.
Bat hands.
No, don't do it. You're not allowed
Now,
to sing.
you know, speaking of music, though, Danny Elfman making this iconic. I mean, so much so that they use it still. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the best part about this is Danny Elfman, who I don't know if you guys know.
And every soundtrack afterwards, by the way,
It sounds
sucks.
just.
but with
Well, it sounds just like a version of Batman.
But with Danny Elfman, like, so I don't like he was the lead singer and writer for a band called Oingo Boingo.
Yep.
Back in the 80s.
I did not realize
Yeah.
that.
That's who he was. He was the lead singer and writer for Oingo Boingo. There's one called Dead Man's Party that I think made.
Yeah.
That's kind of the one that most people know. But yeah, so he came. He did the. I think he did the music. Yeah, he did the Beetlejuice stuff. Tim Burton's like, I love your stuff. Can you do some? Can you do some stuff for me? So he did the Beetlejuice thing, and then he said, I want you to do the same stuff over here. And then he wrote that. But this,
It's iconic.
the intro,
It is.
the intro alone, just when they're doing the credits,
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
that camera is swirling
through
through
the-
a
yeah,
cast
through-
or like a concrete, poured
Yeah.
representation of the bat signal or sigil or whatever you want to call it, and that music is going. It's like,
Yeah.
it feels like they're saying you're about to go on a roller coaster.
Yes.
This is about to be a fun, entertaining ride for you. You're just ramping up to it, and then when that symbol slowly pans up, and boom, you see the Batman, and then all the strings are going, or the whatever is going really, really fast,
Yeah.
and then you zoom into it, and it's like, okay, let's get you into the movie. Just that credit scene alone is so amazing.
Yeah, we don't have
You know,
credit scenes like that anymore.
Not typically.
Well, we don't
Yeah.
really have opening credit scenes, period, anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, usually, and that's something that just changed with
unless
the
it's a
movies.
Bond film.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah.
Or Deadpool.
And or
Yeah,
Deadpool.
Deadpool too.
But the Bond stuff is so style. It's a style. It's a part of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to have that title.
But-
you have
Right.
to have that intro
But you're
song.
you're right on this because it's just, and it's still one of my favorite all-time scores. But then it did have a soundtrack.
and Prince killed it, dude.
Burton went to Prince and goes, "Can you do a song for this?" Prince goes in the studio, goes, puts out the first one, and goes, "I got more music for
And
this."
he-
And
yeah.
puts out a
Yeah.
freaking
Yeah.
album.
Yeah.
Like only Prince
Yeah.
could put out
Yeah.
a freaking album because somebody asked him for one
One
song.
song.
And
Yeah.
he goes, I got too many now.
Yeah.
So here,
Yeah.
have them all.
Yeah, and it's just some of the best. Still one of my favorite songs, "Scandalous." I love that.
Oh yeah.
And
So-
that's one of the things about this movie is the fact that all the movies up until this point were getting rock soundtracks. Like
Yeah.
you had
Yeah.
either the Harold Faltermeyer synthesizer score or the hard guitar playing, and then you had Elfman's strings and Prince's.
Yeah.
sound.
His synthesizers and guitar, because I mean Prince does.
Yeah,
Prince
Yeah.
was multi-instrumental. He was
very
amazing.
much so.
He was amazing. But it was a very big change musically from what had come up to the time. It's just such a good. Danny Elfman was so good at that one.
The movie when you go back and 30 years later, I'm watching it and I'm thinking, am I gonna get to the point where I'm gonna be judgmental because of everything that's coming out and play into the typical fanboy thing when I watch this? I don't really do it with Superman, but I find myself being nitpicky and being like, man, look at the graphics on that,
Yeah.
But I watched Batman and I thought, man, this still holds up.
It did.
It does.
I'm like, this still holds
Yeah,
up,
it
I'm like,
did.
it's yes, there's a couple of things that are not necessarily.
Well, the giant trench coats and the
Yeah.
the overly done shoulder
Right.
pads and all that stuff, but you could chalk that style up to a noir-esque.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it
Yeah.
fits in the movie, and because there's not a lot of great
Would-
things come out of the '80s.
Would have loved to have seen Harvey Dent fleshed out by Billy D.
Yeah.
Would have loved to have seen that
Yeah.
character.
Yeah.
Which I think in the third one that was the original plan. But
Yeah.
after, they're like, Burton, we need you to lighten this up, and everyone was like, nope, we're good. And Keaton's like, nope, we're good. Billy D's like, nope, we're good.
Yeah.
you know,
And so they went to
Tommy Lee,
Tommy Lee.
who hated Jim Carrey.
Right. Well, I think Tommy Lee hates a lot of people.
I see.
That being said, I want to go back to now that we've all become gourmands of geek culture.
Wait, what are we?
Gourmands.
Okay.
Remember when we talked to you about using smaller words and not using big words just because you can?
Yeah.
No. We only talked about that because you misuse words all the time, and we don't want you to get another extension to your vocabulary to F stuff up later on. So.
Excuse me, that is my style.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, point being, this was an age when we were appreciative of.
Gourmands, was that like a Godzilla villain?
It's like cousin to Rodan.
Yeah, like Gourmand, but he's the one that sleeps on the couch, just comes over, doesn't actually do anything. Rodan's asking him, when are you going to leave? That's Gourmand. Go ahead, I'm sorry, what you were saying?
I actually kind of want to see that now.
I do, just where he goes in and crashes on the couch. Dude, I'm getting a job, I swear,
the next,
man.
All of you.
There's your next strip for the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
Gourmand's
Gourmand.
laying on the
Gourmand's
couch,
laying on the
Rodan
couch.
comes in. Dude, seriously, you can't pick up
Like,
after yourself?
just throw a building down or something,
There's
but get out
ramen
there
bowls
and-
all over the coffee
Oh, my
table.
gosh,
Get
you
your
know,
feet off the couch.
Is this a beer can? Is this a beer factory by your feet? Like, clean up.
Really, Judge Judy, again? Can we watch
my
something else?
gosh.
Please.
You're just nothing's clean on this nuclear power plant. Nothing. It's just a mop. Do something.
Can I come with you on this mission? No, Gourmand, you're staying
Just
home.
Sit down.
I'm not loaning you another $20.
All right, what were you saying?
I just need another honey bear, man.
It's that
Oh,
golden
I can see
cocaine
it.
money is what Gourmand was on.
Yeah.
Never known someone who can eat so much toast and honey, Gourmand. Please. Can you vary the diet up a little bit?
Just-
Well, you're out of
Jesus.
Raisin Bran because you ate it all.
Avocado toast is not a delicacy. It's
All right,
toast with avocado.
So, Gourmand nerds.
Yeah, so we're all gourmand
We're all
nerds.
Gourmand
It's like,
nerds.
It's like, well, this that didn't fit what happened in the comic book. That's not what he looks like. Like
Is that what we sound like as nerds?
yes.
Oh.
We were appreciative. Like I'm 9 years old. I'm watching like, hey, that's cool. Lando Calrissian is Harvey Dent. That's awesome, right? Like we didn't.
You said that at 9?
Yes, it did.
I call bullshit.
He was a precocious young child.
Oh, gosh. Oh, I'm sorry. You were 41 at the time.
Yeah, I was 41
Continue.
at the time. Yeah.
41 going on 9.
Yeah.
Okay.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
It
really
does.
does.
It does.
So it was just you could appreciate the movie, and there wasn't the pressure to make it look like the comic, and we didn't expect it to look like the comic. It was like just make a good movie. And he
Even though it
made
was the most comic book accurate movie.
version, yeah, exactly. It's the most comic accurate, but it makes the changes that it needs to, and felt okay doing it.
Well, it did it in such a way that it didn't feel campy or
Right.
stupid or pandering.
It
It
was-
was an honest movie, and
Exactly.
to your point, that's it.
Yeah.
The honest movie, and we lost sight of that for a while.
And
Yeah.
it broke it away from Super Friends. It broke it away from the Adam West TV show.
Right, exactly. It distanced itself very
If-
well from that.
And it was stylized. I think that's the main thing is the aesthetics
Yeah.
were so stylized
and I
that
gotta-
it worked.
I
Still the
gotta
best
say,
Batmobile.
Yeah.
By far.
To this
by
day.
far, still
Yeah.
the best Batman.
I love me some Tumblr, but I'd rather be driving down the street in that thing. the Batmobile.
Shields.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah,
how
Shields.
cool was that? That
Yeah.
was like, oh, look at what's happening, right? Like the whole thing just.
Yeah.
That was
That was
badass.
awesome. And I love the fact that they had that little grappling hook so it could make the turns.
Turns, yeah.
Because they even
Well,
they
that
were
was
like,
in number 2,
this is
wasn't
gonna
it?
happen.
Was that in the second one?
No, it was the first one.
It's-
That was in the first one too. I don't remember that in the first.
It
It
was
is
during
in the
the
first one
purchase.
when they're running from everything.
That's
Yeah.
right. Okay, when they run from everything.
I
I
love
just, when it comes when it drives itself into the
Yeah.
into the facility.
Yeah.
What is this damn thing called? It was
The-
Axis Chemicals.
The Axis Chemicals, yeah.
And it just takes like that was just cool, man. I love.
I love the fact that the bombs came out of the wheels.
Yeah, and they're all
everyone's
looking
just
at
going,
it.
What?
Clink, clink, clink. Yeah, and this drop and roll away.
But I do also love the first reaction to Gordon seeing Batman. Oh my God!
Yes.
Like, what did I
He
just
played
watch?
a great Gorman too. The other thing he had was, when they called him away and they were like, what the hell wasn't I told about it? Who's in charge? He goes, Carl Grissom, sir. He goes, oh my God, come on, let's go.
Yeah.
But that grizzled, old, haggard, I've been doing this shit for 40 years kind of thing, and he's
I'm
tired of
old.
this. Yeah, I love that. He was good, man.
Yeah. No, it wasn't. Well, basically, it was the Harvey Bullock character, but Grissom was the. Yeah, it was the bad guy. It was the main.
Where are you going with this?
Never mind.
Okay.
But like you say, it's the aesthetics of it, right? It's the that's clearly Harvey Bullock, but it's not Harvey Bullock.
You're talking
Right.
about
The detective.
and Grissom was the crime boss.
Yeah, he was the
Eckhart
crime-
was the
Eckhart.
I'm sorry, it was Eckhart.
And yes,
it was Grissom. It was
it
Eckhart.
was
yes.
loosely
Yes,
based
yes.
off Bullock.
Bullock. Yeah.
My
Right.
apologies.
And I love the fact he gets killed. Like I mean, it
Yeah.
was.
Hey,
It's like they
Eckhart,
were. Yeah.
think about the future.
or in the neck or in the chest or something. But he
Yeah.
just shoots him.
Well,
and then that's when Batman appears to
Yeah.
Napier.
No, he was there just
That's
before
right.
that because he had him by the
Yeah.
and he backed off and then he shows back up and that's when he blocks the shot and you see his face get lacerated by all the glass.
Drop him or we'll do
this was-
Gordon.
This was a seriously violent movie
It really
watching
was.
and that's I mean it definitely earned that
This
PG-13
is what
rating.
irks
at the
me is
time.
when people sit there and go, Affleck Batman kills. Batman's been killing since
It wasn't until after 2. After Batman Returns was when they started doing this whole
Yeah.
No. He still killed in Batman Forever. He killed in Batman Forever.
Did he kill or did he do it accidentally? Because I felt like
He
at
didn't
that point
do it to save people.
that's what I feel like at that point they started making it more a little less like if it happens it happens, but I'm doing my best not to kill
It
someone.
wasn't till Nolan where he was like, we're gonna make him actively not kill people. Was
it really that late in the game? It was Nolan who
Nolan
really
was the
started?
first one who said, you know what, we're gonna build upon that.
So then what was? Because I feel like it was always that way. Maybe it was also in the cartoons.
Yeah,
So
a
the
lot of it was-
cartoons
yeah.
leading up to that.
Cartoons-
But again,
Yeah.
any cartoon in America takes the whole G.I. Joe
Which-
approach where, everyone climbs out of the tank before it explodes. Just let somebody die
But-
for once.
Batman Adventures still
Oh yeah.
is the best animated series. You got so much from that, but
That was Beyond for me was the one that I loved Batman
but
Beyond.
that's not there without Batman.
And I know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And it's just, for me, that was my favorite.
And so with that, if
I'm not
Superman,
discounting.
I
Okay.
get you.
Yeah.
If Superman the movie in '78 was the father of the modern day comic book movie, which everyone still looks to, Batman has to be the film that perfected everything. The '89 Batman.
If-
It was like, we can show you how to do this in a way where it's both. It can be stylized and it can be
Serious.
again, serious
Yeah.
in
It
the
It could
real
be serious.
world.
It could be a real movie.
To make it into a geek or a real deep geek cut, if Superman
Is this,
78,
is this Gorman again?
it's Gourmand. If Superman 78 is Will Eisner, then Batman 89
you are
is
going
Jack
too
Kirby.
Deep for some of our audience, man.
I know. Well, that's a
And-
shout out
and
to my nerds.
It's very much a feeling though where, I mean, I think everything builds off of it. People to this day, when you talk to directors, even Marvel directors admit, we look at examples of Superman. We look at Batman '89 as examples, and then it kind of jumps forward. We look at Blade, at X-Men, at Christopher Nolan
Yeah.
stuff. And then they've redefined themselves off of it. Everyone outside of Warner Brothers looks at Warner Brothers films for the golden standard, and Warner Brothers is looking at something else. And I think sometimes that gets them in trouble because what they're trying to do is they're trying to find that next style that only they can do.
Mm-hmm.
And to that, I feel that in 10 years we're going to look back on Snyder's versions and go, you know what? Probably just a little ahead of its time. Didn't
Well,
get a lot of stuff right, but
We've
been
saying that, but
Yeah.
we on this show we've said that several times.
Yeah.
It's an art film.
Yeah.
Yeah, very
he,
much
He
so.
did an art house comic book film.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone that he did, that's basically what it was, and it's not bad in the sense that we have to look at it and say it was a horrible movie.
Although there are people out there that do.
And I know there are people that say that, but
they're wrong.
that's not what I said. I
heard.
Thanks for saying that. No, for me, it's more or less, it's a movie that's going to have to take some time to grow on you.
Yeah.
And it is a good movie in its own way, but it's not the movie that I think fans wanted or were ready for at the time. Especially when you've got all the Marvel movies leading up to that point as your competition. People were already ready to see something like that, and then you got Snyder going in on it, and it's still impressive, but
it is.
It's different, and I don't think people were ready for that.
So it's not the Batman you wanted; it's the Batman you deserved.
Yes.
There you go. That's it.
Yeah.
That sounds
exactly
perfect.
it,
Yeah.
I will say this though, and I think this to sum up, because we're done like 5 minutes. The thing about Warner Brothers, and this is what helped the early films, but has killed a lot of the new films. Warner Brothers has never, from the movie perspective, understood the properties, and we've talked about this a lot.
Never.
No, never.
Just never.
Never.
They've never understood them. So all they've ever cared about, because they've looked down on those properties as far as DC goes.
I don't agree with that.
What they did with Batman was they gave it to the right person, and they just said, okay, well, you've made these good movies, we'll go ahead and give it to you. They don't know or care about the property in the same way that Marvel does. So they gave it to Tim Burton. Tim Burton had free reign.
I don't.
On those films.
But let me tell you why that I don't. I'm not necessarily saying that some of that couldn't be applied, and obviously there are some of the heads of the studios that certainly may be the case. But I don't think that's necessarily true, because you don't mess with your cash cows.
And I wouldn't label the studio as a whole as somebody who doesn't care or doesn't understand.
I didn't say they didn't care.
No,
So
you
they
did.
don't- Oh, did I say?
Yes,
okay.
you said both.
I
You
said
said they don't care, and you said they don't understand. And I frankly, dude, that's when you say never, and then you have absolutes that you deal in like that. That's kind of hard.
And I think.
Let me run down the list,
Hold
shall
on.
we?
No.
Catwoman.
Hold on.
Steel.
Stop.
Superman 3 through 12.
Please don't bring
So,
these
okay,
back up.
stop. But
they
look,
hurt so
the,
much.
The thing is this, right?
Batman 3, Batman
it's
4.
not that. It's not a fact of not caring. It's over caring with too many cooks in the kitchen. It's got to be this way because we got to pander to this. We got to pander to this. We got to pander to this. We got to pander to this.
That's what I'm saying. It's
There's a difference.
formula.
That's not caring. That is someone worried about their bottom line and not letting the director choose the direction that it needs to go into.
They want to have hands on the reins to steer it to what they believe is the best cash opportunity for them and their investment.
And that is a product of caring too damn much. There's a difference. So they do care about these characters. They just don't know how to let people. They don't know how to sit there and say, if we have to take a loss, we're going to take a loss. And the ones that they do take a loss on, they don't know how to let them go and continue the story, just in case they need it to finish. Let Snyder finish. If you weren't going to be worried about what was going to be coming out afterwards, or if you were going to change it anyway, then let him finish the story.
Yeah.
Because he had already said, I've got 5 movies in me. This is how I see this going. Then let him finish it. You're still going to make money. I guarantee that you're going to at least get $100 million over everything. None of those movies, including Justice League, I don't care what they say, lost money. It just didn't make them what they wanted.
And
there's
then-
a difference.
And then
There is.
at a certain point, you also have, if you've got a full 5 movies that he had a beginning and an end to, then you've got a contained product that probably hit a note with somebody somewhere that said, I really like those films, and they're going to go out and buy that set. I mean, you're still going to make that money back.
But to sit there and say they don't care, I think that's no. It's that they care.
It's just a broad
they
statement.
care
It's a
too
very
much.
broad statement.
Because if they didn't care, they wouldn't be trying to fix everything all the time and saying, well, maybe we should redo it this way. Look, Marvel really is. I know they've got their Phase 4s coming up. I know that they just bought Fox. They're going to be able to do their stuff. But really, they're never going to hit lightning in the bottle twice. This first 3 phases of they're never going to repeat.
they're never.
that.
And that's I really.
They've even said it.
but I
I
hope-
think if
yeah.
you look at it, they've even said we're going to separate the cosmic and the ground level
Yeah.
characters.
They've got to.
and they're like we're never going. They're not going to do another 10-year
Good.
plan. They're going
Good.
to do smaller things, which
They
that's
should.
what they should do.
They should do, because this was at a certain point. It kind of feels like a chore sometimes
Yeah.
to know all of what's going on leading up to that point. But also, how you said it perfectly. Lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
How are you gonna capture that again? And I'm glad they're not going to do another 10-year full 3-phase span idea like this.
And
so.
I think what we're going to see with the Joker coming out in October or September with Joaquin Phoenix Joker is the fact that it's going to be this different direction of DC, of Warner Brothers actually saying it is going to be smarter for us just to say, you know what, you're the director. If you want to use a Superman character, you're free.
Yeah.
However, do your thing. And we're going to get better movies in
Yeah.
that sense.
Which is what we had said at the beginning. It's like the
Yeah.
problem is all DC had to do, or Warner Brothers had to do, is just say, look, we're just going to keep popping out movies. We're going to screw interconnectivity. Like you have the Dark Knight trilogy, that stays within itself.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do these Superman movies. If we want Batman to show up, it'll be that Batman for that series.
Right.
That's all they had to do was keep making movies the way they were going because they had a good idea.
You just use the characters as necessary.
Exactly. If they had stayed that way instead of saying, no, we're not going to do what Marvel's doing because Marvel is now has to sort of rely on that. It's like, we're going to do whatever we want. There may be 12 Batman running around at some point.
Yeah.
But that's fine because that's the Batman that shows up there.
And not only that, but I don't care about your Batman, but I do care about mine.
Exactly. Which
So.
is the way it should have been because that's what killed Mortal was the fact that Nolan's like, hey, we don't want to have two.
Yeah, we don't. Justice League Mortal.
Yeah.
And that's what did kill it was because Nolan and Bell both came out and said we don't want another Batman. Let us finish our story, and you can do whatever you want to do. But let us finish our story so it doesn't confuse people. And to that extent, I kind of agree. But
I do agree.
I think the audience as a whole would get it. So
Yeah.
now anyway, are we going to talk?
We're out.
What are we talking?
Okay. I don't know. Last comments, last rights.
Last night.
Well, I got to drive back with Jason.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
Okay.
No, you did.
Oh, the holy water.
I think my
Why
last
is it
thing
there?
is
There's something holy about that. Well, go ahead.
anyway. 89 Batman again. It's my favorite Batman.
Holds up.
It holds up. Visually, I think it changed the game a lot. I think it is a perfect template for how you do a good movie.
Maybe I should give you final words because Jason's going to go on for another hour and a half.
No, he's doing
Yeah.
fine. And
Stay honest and true to the comic, but you don't have to slavishly copy it.
I think Chris Hobbs on our feed here said it the best. It is one of the best adaptations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to stay true, but it does take a good look at the source material.
It
Yeah.
is, yeah. Sound, the score is amazing on that. The sound that Danny Elfman, the score he made for that, continued through other movies, and just even to this day, still goes through that classic. Da-na-na-na, you know, we all know
very
that.
very hard on brass and percussions.
And I mean, I remember watching either Justice League or whatever it was
Spider-Man.
when we had Batman in this most recent one in a Snyder film, and hearing that at a point, and it was good. So yeah.
All right, sign us out, man.
All right. Thank you for putting up with this crap. We'll be here in another 2 weeks. And if you like us for some strange reason, like us, follow us on Facebook and YouTube.
Subscribe on YouTube.
Yeah, subscribe on YouTube. Our email, if you want to go ahead and yell at us, is vagabondnerds@gmail.com.
If you do that, I'm not caring about it.
And, of course, you can find us at www.vagabondnerds.com. We will see you next time.
This is DallasOnAir.com.